Well, hey everybody, it would help if I put myself on the screen. Welcome in. I was just looking at this beer to see if there was a date on it, and it's really weird. It's the only thing that's on here for, like, it's not a date. It says 10/23/36, and I'm pretty sure this is not from 1936. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they don't put dates on their beer. What's up, Bruce? I don't know if you're still here. Looks like you chimed in a little early. There might be some chocolate dunkel. I don't know. Possibly. Anyway, let's get started. I just finished moving some cans. I got, you guys have ever had to order cans for brewing, for canning your beer? It's not like bottles. They come in like 200 cans to a box, and they take up so much space. They're really light, so it's not very heavy, but it's kind of awkward, the size of the box. And, well, anyway, you have to find somewhere to put it. So anyway, let's get into this beer. I won't stay long because there is a football game happening right now. So we'll get back to that shortly. This beer is Dunkel, well, Hefeweisbier Dunkel from Weihenstephaner. And sorry about my German. It's terrible. Hey, Joe, what's going on? I think I've seen you here before last time. Snowy Rhode Island, I bet. I bet it is really cold and snowy there. We don't get much snow here where I'm at. Maybe 1 week out of the year, and even then, that's only every few years that happens. But when it does, it shuts down the city. Just the smell of snow shuts down our city. So this one is, so Dunkel is dark in German. So this is a dark beer. It's a Hefeweizen, German Hefeweizen, and it's a wheat beer. So 5.3% ABV. Like I said, there's no date on it that I can see, but I will say that we'll get more into this, but this is one of those beers that follows the Weihenstephaner. Sorry, it's very hard to get all this in the camera angle here. And so it is, I believe, naturally carbonated, bottle conditioned. They probably kreuzen this, where they take some of the yeast to carbonate it. Anyway, I can smell the banana on it. I know you can only see the top half of this bottle, but anyway, look at this appearance. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but it's like a really muddy brown, sort of amber, muddy. It's the reason I say muddy is it's a wheat beer, right? So wheat beers are supposed to be cloudy. Wheat has a lot of protein in it, and it creates that sort of haziness that you get in those kinds of beers. Nice head retention on this. And again, wheat tends to give really good head retention. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. I'm trying to learn how to do this live stream stuff. It's supposed to put your comment up, but maybe I can't see it because I'm not watching on YouTube. I'm not sure. I'm also trying to see if I can add funny little video clips. I might try one here and see if it works. I thought I had them preloaded. Let's see. The guy who makes this video won't like me doing this, but let's see if I can get this to play.
I'm going to be honest. I don't really like beer that much.
It didn't go full screen, did it? There we go.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like beer that much.
All right, that's kind of. Hang on. Now I'm all screwed up, aren't I? I better not do that again. That really messes up the whole screen and everything. Now I see why they have problems when people do these live streams, getting the people's pictures to go larger and smaller and put them back in the right spot on the screen. Anyway, I'll get back to this beer here. So for the aroma on this, it's exactly what you might think. Here, I'll put this back up here. Banana from the yeast. Clove, also from the yeast. That's the phenolics from it. Sort of like toasted bread, caramel. You definitely get like the darker malts give you some nice nuttiness. The main difference here between American wheat beer and these German ones is the American ones don't use the German yeast, and so you don't get the banana esters and the flavors from the yeast that you do with the German beer. By the way, this is pretty easy to get. I'm sure most of you have had it if you're watching, but that's the whole point, is I'm trying to find beers that everybody can get. So if you want to try it, you can try it instead of getting beers that are, it's going to be impossible except, if you live in that particular area to get them. This is nice. So sometimes, I think I've mentioned this before on the past live stream, sometimes you get like just overpowering the banana flavor or the clove flavor is just too much. It's too overpowering. Whiskey. Oh, yeah, I did. I had the whiskey chat earlier. Well, it was a whiskey tasting. I posted it just a little bit earlier today. This is nice. Like I said, it's not overpowering. Really good carbonation. Like I said, I think because this follows the Weihenstephaner, I think that they're not allowed to put, like, say, sugar to carbonate it. I think they have to do it naturally. So they probably kreuzen this, where they take some of the yeast from the original beer that when it was brewing, and they put it into the bottling so that it carbonates in the bottle from the yeast. I do a similar thing with my homebrew called Guile, which is I save some of the original wort and freeze it, and then when I go to bottle, I thaw it out and boil it to sanitize it, and I use that original wort instead of sugar to carbonate my beer, and it makes a big difference. I didn't think it would, but flavor-wise, it really makes a huge difference. I'd tell you the name of the guy that brews this, but I can't pronounce it. Obviously, his last name is Weihenstephaner, but I can't pronounce the rest of his name. It's not possible with my tongue. This beer is from Freising, Germany. I should really try to learn some German. Main claim of this beer, I think it's right on the bottle. Says it's the world's oldest brewery. Now, I don't know if that's true or if I believe it, but they say that this beer has roots that go back to 1040 AD. Now, that's like what? Only like 40 years after the death of Christ. So were they drinking this just after Christ's time? I mean, I don't know. When they say it dates back that far, obviously, I don't think it was named Weihenstephaner. I don't know. I do find that hard to believe. And of course, the ingredients. We all know the history of beer. They didn't use hops back then. And they didn't even really use, traditional grains that we use today. They used alternative grains like the gruits, if you've ever seen one of those. So I don't know. It's if this did exist, something like this did exist back in that time, it definitely was not at all what it is today. What else can I tell you about this? This is, the Weihenstephaner started in like 1516, so that's pretty old. That's the beer purity law. Flavor-wise, like I said, it's super smooth. You don't get as much of the banana on it and the clove. It's there, but it's in the background, which is what I really like. I don't want it to overpower it. You do definitely get a nice smoothness from the wheat. I love a wheat beer. It just gives it a really good mouth feel, coats your mouth, smooth. I actually put oats in almost all my beers for that reason, but wheat does the same thing. The finish is really clean. Even though they put dark malts in it, it's not really that dark, and you don't get like a really heavy beer. It feels like a refreshing, like light beer, even with the darker malts. But the darker malts give it so much more flavor. I think this would be really good with like a German sausage. That'd be really good. It's so light and refreshing. It's not going to mess your palate up too much. I think pork. Any kind of pork would be really good with this. I love pretzels with every beer, so I could say that pretzels would be good. Like one of those big German pretzels, the soft ones that are warm, that would be amazing. And of course, cheese, right? I feel like cheese and pretzels always go with just about any kind of beer. So you could always say either one of those two as far as pairing with a beer, and it would probably work. Yeah. All right. Well, I said I was going to keep this short. We got a football game to get back to. I don't know who you guys are rooting for. I'm not really rooting for either team that's playing right now. Whichever team wins. People would be upset about this. I was super excited yesterday that the Seahawks didn't just win. I mean, they decimated the 49ers. I wasn't expecting that, but super happy since they're from my neck of the woods that they are playing so well. We'll see what happens. Excited for the Super Bowl. Anyway, Joe, I'll see you and Bruce in a bit later. Next week, I'll have another beer. Probably it's going to be one of those Belgians that I got, so that'll be interesting. And until then, cheers, everybody. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I'll never figure out how to end the stream.